exactly for this reason. Let's see. Alright, let's say that anyone can get in here and save. Now, as per normal, y'all already know, I'm going to find it. I'm going to tweet it. I'm going to make sure people can find it. Videos. Come on. Here we go. Share. Tweet. Yeah, that'll work. Voodoo went crazy. That's what I'm listing it as. What do you think? Alright. Got a little morning coffee. I will be getting into this. But just in case somebody doesn't believe me, oh, my cat wants in. Did y'all see his tail? There it went. But wait, there's more. If you're wondering how I'm doing this, it's called double knitting. It's something I taught myself when I did this to my knee. Shattered kneecap a while back. Shattered kneecap, you are not going to be getting around very well. Trust me on that. So what you will need to do this, 2 different yarns. You need to figure out what it takes to cast on 2 different yarns at the same time. Now, I'm not going to show that and display this, and my technique is a little bit different than everybody else's. I actually start with only 1 loop way down here, and I actually knit on, especially when I'm doing double knit. What I am going to describe is when you get to the end of a row. Okay, you get to the end of a row. you take your yarn and you twist them over each other. Otherwise, you're going to have this spot right here along the edges where it's not going to seal together. And now if you want to be able to just knit two pieces the exact same length on the exact same needles and fold them open so it's one open side, or one knit side, one purl side, go ahead and do that. You'll have a seam right where you've started, but it's not a bad look. This is actually just something I do when I'm bored or it's really raining hard. So what I do, start with the knit, find the same color thread, yarn, and knit that one. Then pull both sides over and purl just one. So what we're doing here is both sides over, insert from the back towards the front. You can hear a little click. Drag your needle down. And what you're doing is you're pulling that piece, that new piece, onto the stick. And then you're taking the old loop off. And then you bring them back over, and purl is when you insert from the front, or you insert from the back of the work, but you insert into the work. And then you're doing the same thing. Now doing what I'm doing right here is going to produce knit on both sides and purl in the middle. It's called double knit. You've probably heard of a double knit suit. Well, that's what that is. Material on purl feels soft, or sorry, material on knit feels soft, and material on purl feels kind of bumpy. And at some point, probably well into the future, I will show and tell on what that looks like and feels like. Now, people would ask me, why would a normal guy's kind of guy do this? Well, when you shatter a kneecap and you're stuck at home, you can't go anywhere because you can't damn well walk. There ain't no really place to go anyways. The only time that you can ever actually get out and do anything is maybe you can go up to the mall when the old folks are walking the mall, but you can't walk, so what good is that? So you sit there all day. What do you do? Watch TV? I mean, you can, I guess, if you want to. In case you're wondering what I was just doing, I was pulling more yarn out of the balls. Yarn comes in skeins and balls. Right now I'm working with balls because they're easier for me to transport inside and outside of the house. And I didn't feel like dragging a big bag and a bunch of needles and all kind of craziness. case you can't follow along with what I'm doing, I am literally knitting and purling. Knitting and purling. This gets to be very therapeutic to the mind because you don't have to think about it. You just do it. But if you're going fast enough, you got to pull out some yarn every once in a while. Again, you just have to keep making sure that you bring both of your yarns to the front or the back. At the same time. But you're only knitting or purling one piece at a time. So while you do have both pieces of yarn in your hand, you are either using A or B, and as long as you keep them separated, it turns out a real nice soft material. So back to why I learned to do this. There I am sitting around at the house. I've watched every piece of TV that I could have watched, and I decided I can't handle it no more. I gotta have something to do with my hands, at least. And I tried a little woodworking, but you can't really get around woodworking tools if you can't use your legs. Shock. I tried cooking. Well, it's kind of hard to stand up to the stove if you can't stand. So I picked up some knitting needles and had my sister get me a bunch of yarn and a couple of books on knitting, and I taught myself how to knit. Thank you, Steph. I appreciate your comment. Yeah, double knitting is kind of cool. And I got to the end of a row. Now, let's look at what I call a row. Oh, let's call it about 8 inches worth of a flat knit material. Nice, soft. Eventually, it'll make a hell of a scarf. Maybe, if I ever finish. But I promised at one point in time I would prove that A, I can knit, and B, I can knit better than most people's grandmothers. And so I have. Let's raise that camera up a little bit. Got y'all on the squawk box. If y'all feel like going back and looking at what I did, I didn't do very much. I only did one row of knitting. Don't think it's crazy. It's not like it's all that super cool. Just something I've learned to do. And the reasonings behind why I learned to do it. Let's just say that I would muchly prefer to create something than to destroy. Very good at destruction. In fact, I was kind of trained for it. Won't get into all that, but I was. But I'm out here with my morning coffee. And I made the brag last night that I would open up a live with knitting. And dared anybody to bet against me. I hear pipe artist Steph crochets. I believe we've actually talked about this. I think, doesn't Skip also crochet from time to time? Not sure. So one thing I am going to say, if anybody goes in and they look at this video and they want to ask any questions on how to actually start a double knit, get in there, get yourself a comment. I'm going to answer all of them. I don't have enough viewers to even worry about it. I can do anything I wanted to. Nobody's going to say anything to me. But what I do know for a certain fact is, if what I've done on my channel has been confusing to you, please let me know. Throw a comment down there. Like and share. I don't care. You think I'm worried about whether somebody thinks I might be a little or not? This is 2020. You think I'm gay? I'm gay. Fuck it. I don't care. Y'all are allowed to think what you damn well want to. That's the best part about being here in America. You have freedoms. Freedoms of speech, which is the reason why I can make this statement. Now I'm going to give you a little history on knitting. Back in the day, it was a man's job. Truth though. Almost every job back in the day was a man's job. But I'm willing to bet some man who was at work and figured out that he could teach his woman to knit also. And then for some strange reason, it became some sort of weird whatever. Well, Mike, yes we do. Yes we do. Definitely do get up early. How about yourself? I understand you're on the West Coast, so this is only 2 hours earlier for you. That makes it 6:33 your time, I'm guessing. God. Oh yeah. Been up for 4 hours. And now you're claiming I get up early? I got up about a cup of coffee ago. I enjoyed sleeping today. But as far as enjoying a pipe in the morning before it gets hot, plus I had to get the trash out. I don't like it when my mother-in-law is toddling around outside without some sort of somebody being awake. She's getting on in age. I don't want to be the person that wakes up, goes outside, finds out, hey, she's been laying out there for 7 hours. Well, so I take care of a lot of things. Good one, Mike. Hey, look at there. I'm up to 3 people. Word must be spreading that I'm crazy. Burley Nut Bob, hey. First time I've ever seen Burley Nut Bob here. Glad to have you. If it's been more than once, I'm sorry. I must have forgotten, but I've probably drank something and slept at least once since then. But in case y'all are wondering why I might be crazy, I opened this video by double knitting. Yes, I said that correctly. Double knitting. Got to make sure that that first one is twisted over. If I exclaimed, the plane, y'all would all understand, I hope. I can't control the guys who decide to fly out of this little private airplane that's 3 blocks from the house. Nothing I can do about it. They take off when they take off. Hey, crochet's not bad. I'm not sure what I would do with a set of golf club covers, though. Have to give them away. Of course, when I shattered a kneecap, my ability to actually do anything golf related went to 0. Now, I will tell you, double knitting takes a lot of time and patience. And I would suggest, if you're going to start double knitting at all, no craziness involved, but start with two completely different colors. Don't start with even similar colors. And I would suggest starting with something that is like red and white, or green and white, black and white. You want that contrast to be right out there in your face. It makes it so much easier to learn how to double knit if you have a lot of contrast. In fact, that's probably what started me thinking about doing this video, was when Mike on Briar Blues was talking about contrast, about how you have to have a break in colors. It was a very interesting conversation. If you want to see more about that, look at the Briar Blues live show from last Thursday. Yeah, I didn't really get any exceptional instruction. I learned how to do it out of a book. And then I was fiddling around and I taught myself how to double knit just because I was trying to figure out how to use two colors at the same time and knit a pattern. Well, I did eventually figure out how to knit a pattern. But first, I had to actually teach myself to double knit. And the results of it are that I can create a scarf that blocks all wind and completely stays warmer than pretty much anything you can buy in the stores. Not a problem, Mike, not a problem. I find your discussions to be well thought out and very entertaining. I mean, I might be kind of a minority here. There I am telling people they should listen to a Canadian. This is like a very rare thing for me. But you've got a lot of great information locked away in there, and if we have to figure out a way to pry it out of there before whatever, then we'll do what we can to get it all out before you won't feel like passing on that information anymore. Good drugs and lack of sleep help a lot. Well, I'm gonna say, yeah, when I was learning this, I was actually on a little bit of a painkiller for about 3 days after I shattered my kneecap. First day, they had me on a little bit of Vicodin. By day 3, I was off of Vicodin. I couldn't do it. Literally shattered a kneecap and can't handle the feeling of being out of my damn mind. I will say, on the other hand, though, that if you ever catch yourself with a kidney stone, when they hand you the morphine, you're going to be thankful people think, oh no, I'm a tough guy. Look, I'm not a tough guy. When compared to high carbon steel, when compared to things that are meant to beat the hell out of things, but I'm pretty tough. Ooh, yeah. Mike and I are both on the 2-time losers for kidney stones. I have never felt pain worse than that. I don't care who you are. You will be crying for your mama, begging for drugs. I believe the first time I walked into the hospital with a kidney stone, I said, look, I'm pretty sure it's a kidney stone, but if y'all will just hit me in the head with a big-ass hammer and put me out of my misery, that'll be fine. At that point, they said, yep, it's kidney stone. Oh, yeah. So, see, we're all in here. Oh, yeah. Tattoos are, shoot, might as well tickle. So, that's as far as I'm taking the knitting, mostly because I'm enjoying my pipe without enjoying my pipe. By the way, anybody who caught Cane Rod last night was listening to Mr. Larry Blackett, maker of this nice, beautiful 410 shotgun shell tamper. And then anybody who follows along with Martin at Over a Pipe, he gave one away last night. One that Phil sent to Martin to give away, but so yeah, I mean, look, this right in here, this is painful. I've done it twice. I would let someone tattoo the underside of my arm all day. Before I have another kidney stone willingly. Didn't do the lower back. I do have a nice one here on the shoulder blade. And I was maybe about 120 pounds when I did it. Yeah. My first one. I was literally like on my way into the Army. I went in at 120 pounds. Came out of basic at 160 pounds. I didn't think it was possible. They fed the hell out of me. Here I am, 5'10" and a half, though the driver's license says 6 foot. I think their measuring stick was lowered or something for me, but they says that it's close enough. So there I am, 5'10" and a half, 120 pounds, soaking wet. I go into basic. and they start feeding me 3 times every meal. 3 times a meal. Not a day, a meal. Chow started as soon as I got at the front of the line. Literally the whole base had to wait. I was not anybody's friend. I would run through. They would already have a tray ready, loaded with everything. I would grab hold of it, throw it down on the table, and scrape it fast as I could go. Mostly because there was a sergeant ready to kick my ass if I didn't shovel it in just like it was going out of style. As soon as I was done with plate 1, they'd run me back, and wherever the front of the line was right then, that's where I was reinserted into the line. We would go through. I would again sit down, right where I was the first time. And that sergeant would be screaming at me to eat, eat, eat. You want to talk about people who are pissed off? Those people who are on short rations at the back of the line because they're overweight? They just saw me eat twice. Now for the kicker. Wherever the back of the line was, that's where I had to start again. I've just finished 2 trays. Go to the back of the line. Okay. I go through, and I am being screamed at that if I am the last person done, that the sergeant that's standing over the top of me is going to put a boot so far up my ass that I will be tasting the shoe polish. Well, let's just say most of them are big enough to actually live up to that threat. And I know that they wouldn't really, but still, it was there. It was what was done. I wasn't in for extra PT. I wasn't in for all the extra abuse. I was in to get out. Because home life was worse than basic training. But, yeah, I was a triple rat. Triple rations. It was always funny how they hated me, and then they saw, oh, we're going to go pack all of our stuff and go on this long hike, and then we're going to be out there in the field for a while. Well, I've got 2, so I guess I'm okay. But, yeah, there I was, having to pack all my own food. But remember, I'm a triple rat, so that means I'm packing 3 times as much food. That's 3 times as much weight in food that I have to pack. It doesn't get to be funny at that point. So, how's the weather in Canada, Mike? And Bob, I'm not sure where you live, but how's the weather there, wherever there is? Oh, it'll definitely be warm here. A little bit of haze, light, high level. Kansas, cool and wet. Ugh. So Houston, Kansas, Canada. Been in Kansas a few times. Man, now you're starting to sound like Houston weather. Haven't seen the sun in 3 days. Watch. Oh, there's some sunshine. There, you've seen it. Oh God, where was that? South Central. Yeah. Is it Topeka? Topeka, Kansas is right there around South Central. I could be wrong on that. What's the state capital? Kansas. I'm lost. We did the job I worked on. We did a post office. Some machinery that got installed in a post office there at the state capitol. And the postal distribution location that's... Oh, okay, Wichita. Yeah. I think I was in Wichita once also. We did 3 locations in Kansas. The team I was on anyways. We did one right there by Leavenworth. Topeka and Wichita. I knew it had to have been one of those locations. Granted, this was back in 04 through 06. Kind of traveled all over the place doing post offices. I'm not going to say exactly why we were there, but I will say that my military training and all of the crazy shots that they gave me through the military really helped out, because I was one of those people that got to go to every one of those places where there was a confirmed release of white powder. I'm not going to say what was actually there, but you know, I'm betting somebody other than me would understand. And then right after Fort Riley, I don't believe I have been. I might have drove through or past it, but I don't know for certain if I was there. Well, I'm guessing, fortunately for y'all, because I'm just such a specimen to look at. My aunt has arrived. Figured I'd end this when my aunt arrived anyway, so being that she has arrived, I'm going to let y'all go. I apologize for cutting this shorter than a full hour, but everybody Please have a good day out there. Take care. And as always, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I'll see you soon.